lost my mother to this self-manufactured rabidness, and obviously I'm determined not to lose the mother to my children to the same thing.
Prince Harry was part of day one of the virtual Rewired event, which brings together some of the top thinkers on the planet, that's Rewired's phrase, not mine, to discuss navigating the technological future. Now, Harry was part of a discussion of how media can spread lies, hatred, and propaganda, something he certainly knows about firsthand.
My experience, I guess, has been more pre-social media around the UK press, who sadly conflate profit with purpose and news with entertainment. And they don't report the news, they create it. And they've successfully turned fact-based news into opinion-based gossip with devastating consequences for the country.
Now, we'll get back to his thoughts on the coverage of Meghan, but speaking of devastating consequences, Harry says he warned Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey that his platform was being used to fuel the insurrection on the US Capitol.
Jack and I were emailing each other prior to January the 6th, where I warned him that his platform was allowing a coup to be staged. That email was sent the day before, and then it happened, and I haven't heard from him since.
Yeah, Harry is certainly coming after media moguls as he tries to create change. And he also pointed out how loud a small number of voices on social media are allowed to be.
More than 70% of the hate speech about my wife on Twitter could be traced to fewer than 50 accounts. Perhaps the most troubling part of this is the number of British journalists interacting with and amplifying the hate and the lies, but they regurgitate these lies as truth. So, in fact, the term, and maybe people know this, maybe they don't, but the term Megxit was or is a misogynistic term. And it was created by a troll, amplified by royal correspondence, and it grew and grew and grew onto mainstream media. But it began with a troll.
And Harry says those trolls have influenced mainstream media as well.
I've grown up learning that news should be sacred ground. And you don't have to be Logan Roy or Rupert Murdoch to understand that clickbait is the descendant of targeted advertising. Have you ever noticed that the truth is paywalled, but the lies are free, right? So when a lie spreads on social media, it's dangerous. Of course it is. But when that same lie is given credibility by journalists or publishers, it's unethical, and as far as I'm concerned, an abuse of power. If the media, news media, is supposed to be holding us to account, who is holding them to account? People now more than ever want and need truth. They want and need trust, and they want and need transparency.
Okay, so there's a lot here. First off, the Jack Dorsey thing, we're quickly learning how these heads of these organizations, like the Mark Zuckerberg, like Jack Dorsey, really are very immoral and kind of corrupt people. They are not the people that should be leading these social media platforms. So I don't know how you change that, but yeah, these guys are just turning out to be just pure evil. The other stuff that Harry talks about in terms of, these trolls online, that's no surprise to me that it's a small number of voices that are really getting amplified when it comes to the criticism of Meghan. I saw it when we're doing stuff when I used to work at ET Canada. We do certain topics, and I would just notice the comments we'd start getting. It almost seemed like there was another agenda going on to try to bash us. So that was one thing. But yeah, when he gets into the idea of the negativity online, and it translates because it gets covered by the mainstream media, I often thought about that when I was choosing the topics, because I chose all the topics for ET Canada Live every single day. And you had to figure out, was there actually legitimate backlash or criticism of this whatever song, movie, TV show, moment in celebrity culture, or was it just those trolls? Because if I'm going to amplify those trolls, it takes it to a whole other level. If I'm going to cover it on a mainstream media outlet, then it's really giving a voice to those trolls. So you really had to differentiate between, is there actual criticism here, or is it just trolls? Because you can find negativity about anything, any movie, song, TV show. You can go online and find some negative comments about it. And I've seen that of other outlets, that they'll just create an article about something, because you can find negativity about anything. So it really is a huge responsibility to be in the media and what you're going to cover and what voices you're going to amplify. Because yeah, you really have to stick to the truth and what people are actually talking about and not just trolls out there. So yeah, that's my spiel. But yeah, very interesting talk from Harry. I want to hear your thoughts of a lot of the stuff that he talked about.